What's up, guys? We're back at you after coming off of a Saturday where we had not one, not two, not three, but four title defenses at PPW320. We saw the Olympiad Freestyle Gold Medal defended, Matt Vine against Charlie Effin Hustle. That one you guys can see right here on Patreon and only on Patreon. We also had the Challenge Pro Cup, Not Bad Chad versus Matt Vine versus Tim Castle, which is going to be available to you guys right here on Patreon, and that's uploaded right now if you guys want to go watch it. Highly recommended. Then we had the World Championship, Jose Acosta and Destroyer, which up until Vine and Inestra interfered was a great match. And then we had history made. Charlie Hustle and Ventura are your new tag team champs. They got one over on, actually they got two over on Chase and Sem. They beat them the week before to get the title shot, and then they beat them the second week in a row to win the belts. Good to see those two guys finally with some gold around their waist. They work hard.
For me, it's good to see hard work pay off.
Mm-hmm. Always is. Always is.
So I don't know. Today it's a little different. Things are shaky out there. So again, I like to see living, breathing examples of how hard work pays off. You know?
Shaky and shady.
No, I'm fucked up. I don't like this double standard, you know. Mm-hmm. And the double standard, you know, it gets frustrating as a means to operate under. All these things people weigh in on with their opinions and stuff. How about this? How about we only weigh in on things that we know about? Right. You know what I mean?
Oh, go ahead.
The Dems, they, you know, say what you want, but I don't like people serving me and in charge or have any kind of control over my business or my personal that don't think of the effects that it has on my business or my personal life. You know what I mean? I know that you can serve, but one demographic doesn't have to pay for it. It's not about pleasing everyone. It's about being fair to everyone. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, let's be honest. In this state, it's not Illinois. It's all Chicago. Whatever Chicago wants is what the rest of us have to endure.
How many years will we be called officially the most corrupt state in the union and have nothing change?
I don't know.
You know, how can someone win it's like 2020, you know, we talk about this in the Patreon content and our wrestling content. People see through bullshit. You know what I mean? If it isn't real, if it isn't heartfelt, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. People see it, but they don't see it in political ads. You know what I mean?
No, that's all a manipulation game anyway.
But I just wish that it would catch up with that type of thing. You know, the only reason Pritzker won is because you tell me who was running against him.
Yeah, one guy who I don't even think wanted the job in the first place and didn't really put up a fight.
That's what I'm saying. He rolled over. We didn't see his ads, but Pritzker ads, you couldn't escape them.
Oh, you know? My God, I got so sick of those fucking things.
Well, again, and that's how Hitler swerved an entire nation to do what happened with the Holocaust. Now, I'm not comparing the two, so don't fuck with me. You know?
Yeah, you'll have Antifa right up your ass.
I'm just saying, you know, that it's a damn shame when people, we're in a more educated age and there's more information available out there, people don't do their own work. They're just swerved or swayed by being hammered with that kind of thing, that kind of ad. It's a sham, a scam, an exploitation. It's pimping, you know?
Well, that's the two sides of the internet for you. On the one hand, the internet's been a wonderful thing, but on the other hand, for some reason, it's made people just stop thinking for themselves.
In a sense, right? But also today, did I get him? No, damn it. Also, that's a fucking...
There's a fly in here.
In my house, too, it's the same thing. These last motherfucking flies that survive, they're really resourceful. And we got one or two in the house. They stay in their what they figure to be their own rooms. So we have one here too, but I'll get them. But anyway, they're really resourceful. They're harder to catch. I guess that's why they're still alive, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, you know, it's kind of like the same thing with Vince and WWE. And again, I'm not ripping on him, you know, in ways I'm jealous, you know, of course. But He's got the media platform. You know what I mean? I can tell you, and people that watch our stuff, and obviously you people listening that subscribe and see our matches and our ideas, you know, but the playing field is just so unlevel when we can't convince people with the media platform that Vince has to the fact of how great our product is, how great our roster is, how great our ideas are. You know what I mean? So it gets frustrating, but we'll just keep chipping away at it, you know.
Yep. Well, the next inevitable step is to go live, and
I'm
we're
not-
working on that. We're actively working on that.
Yeah, I'm not bitching right now. I'm not crying and complaining or using it as an excuse or the loser's limp. I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was an old-timey guy named, God damn it, W. Clement Stone. He used to write success books. He was a phenomenal salesman and a real, like, he was like the pioneer of success books, you know?
Was he kind of a Zig Ziglar type?
He came before Zig. I think Zig probably quotes W. Clement Stone. But he used to refer to things as the loser's limp. If you watch any kind of race, you know, on foot, you know, Olympics, whatever the fuck, let's say two guys get beat in the 100-yard dash. The guy that loses by even a tenth of a second limps after. And he calls that the loser's limp.
Well, it's kind of funny. I never noticed that before, but thinking back to the foot races I have seen, you're right.
Exactly.
It's a recurring thing.
And yeah, it kind of shows in the brain that is our first thing, is to search for an excuse, something to blame it on. I'm not doing that. I'm not using this as a loser's limp.
What was that in Caddyshack? Rodney slices the ball. Oh, my arm!
No, but I'm being like 100% serious.
No, I
though.
know.
Not in a comedic sense. I'm saying that that's what tends to happen. And man, I don't know, for whatever reason, I got a hold of some of those books when I was an 18, 19-year-old kid and decided that there's some good stuff in there. And you see how I am with people and in general with sales and shit like that. So the guy was right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was the first, one of the first. No, I'd say it was my first conscious effort to smarten up to the streets beyond survival, you know? Leaving home at 15 years old, 14 years old, 15 years old, I can't remember. I was a boy. That's when I guess I would be about 17 or 18 when I finally became emotionally mature enough and said, fuck that. I'm not going to use this to cripple me. I am not going to use a loser's limp, you know what I mean, as an excuse to fail. Yeah. And that's kind of what we do here, because I pass that on to these motherfuckers and you too, if you'll admit it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll admit it. I'll admit it.
So, yeah, I mean, fuck, you know, the matches Saturday were fucking outstanding, you know? And what I really gave for is, and we're going to see more of it, I want to touch on it, is that tag match, the opener. Mm-hmm. You know, never been done before. I don't care what anyone says, it's never been fucking done before. Iron Man tag team matches.
If it has, it's been done in some bar with some half-trained idiots.
Still, no way. No way they thought of it. They don't care about that. They only care about getting their shit in.
Yeah.
You know? Most of your indie guys know that they're not really fucking wrestlers.
Yeah, and let's face it, whoever else did it probably blew up about 5 minutes into 30 minutes.
Nobody today can do 30 minutes.
No. Well, our guys did, including two. Actually, we had three, when you think about it, because Poncho hasn't been in the game that long. You had three relatively new guys. You had Poncho, Eddie Cruz, and Ultimo in there with Inestra, and all four of them, for all 30 minutes, they never slowed down.
No, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
You know? It was fucking great.
Even Eddie Cruz, I mean, you know, you look at Eddie Cruz and you think, oh, what an adorable little chubby bastard, but that kid can fucking go.
You know, in the real world, and you do me a favor, you two, we should all of us, as I guess I'm going to call us adults, quote unquote. If you follow him on social media, I think he gets fucked with quite a bit.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
You know, because I see him post a lot of shit about bullying. But that's what's nice with that motherfucker. When he comes here, there's none of that. He's treated with respect, because here you look at this kid and you respect him, and love. His love for the fucking industry, and his heart is not giving up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, when that kid finds his confidence, and he's only 18 fucking years old, the sky's the limit. You know?
Well, it's already showing in the Spanish Post shows.
Yeah.
I mean, that first week, you know, as most guys do, their first time in front of the camera, he was tripping over himself and this and that. The second time, much better. The third time, even better. Mm-hmm. So not only is he building that confidence, you know, he's taking everything he gets told to heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether it's by you or whether it's the small little coaching notes I've given him or whatever.
It's a support.
Exactly.
You support him. I
exactly.
support him. People here support him. There's a lot of fucking joking and fucking around, but at the end of the day, it's about support. It's about operating as a team. And we're a pretty good fucking team.
Yeah, and that's why you can get away with saying half the shit you do.
Well, yeah,
because we know it's in good nature, and we know that at the end of the day, everybody's going to be on the same page. And those who aren't, they're going to show themselves the door.
Well, I'm a sensitive, caring prick, but
it's a flaw sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, but I can't get too fucking mushy on you guys. So if I'm really fucking proud of you, I'll say, "You asshole, that was awesome." Yep. You know what I mean? Got to throw that asshole in there to buffer it. You know,
it always comes off the back of the hand.
You know, but it is what it is. Whatever the fuck we're doing is working. So yeah, man. I mean, we got to go live. We got to, especially with this fucking terror. And let's go back to it again. You know, the only doctor the left listens to, and the only science that they listen to, is Dr. fucking Fauci. I'll say it again, and I'm not being an asshole, and I'm not trying to make this political. I'm just saying commonsensically, streetwise. The guy has been there for 24 fucking years. It's about term limits, and he is obviously leans toward the left. Mm-hmm. You know, factually, some facts came out this week, and I want to say this in regards to live attendance. The fact is, a mask only stops 3% of fucking germs. Did you know that?
I didn't know the statistic, but I know that it's a security blanket.
97% of germ, virus, etc. goes through your fucking mask. 85% of devout mask wearers got the COVID. And yesterday, but you won't see it or hear about it, again, 33% of the COVID deaths are real, you know? Mm-hmm. The biggest thing is they found out, and this was, I want to say the AMA, which you can pound sand, CDC, and all that bullshit. The AMA is what I'm going for. And even though I know they have some corruption too, AMA has probably got a better name and been around longer than the CDC. They said yesterday that there was a huge fucking jump in Alzheimer's deaths. I didn't know you could die from Alzheimer's, did you?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can. I talked to a nurse about it last night, and I'm trying to figure out or simplify how it can happen. I guess what it is this. The subconscious mind, in whatever state, you know, you're in Alzheimer's, dementia, Alzheimer's, it negs out. You get negative. You know what I mean? So let's say you've got a loved one that's in the hospital, but you can't go see him. You know, or a hospital or home, but you can't go see him. They give up, Justin. Even though they can't remember you, the love, support, subliminally, they just give up. They got nothing to live for. Even though their memory doesn't fully remember you all the time. Something in their fucking brain, and I'm going to say their soul knows that. So they had a huge jump, and most of your deaths were old people, seniors with Alzheimer's. They died from Alzheimer's. That's the actual excuse, but they had COVID. Mm-hmm. So they're not COVID deaths.
No, well, there have been a lot of... Somebody from the state even came out a couple of months ago and said that they were recording COVID deaths based on if the person had COVID at the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily the cause of death. They came out and they openly admitted it.
But, well, exactly, and it's been, okay, you just cited another one, but the bottom line is the media ain't going to tell you that. The commercials don't tell you that. And I'm going back to small business. Now, really, even though I began like bitching or venting, I'm going to say venting, it sounds better, about how this shit has affected us. you're dealing with people like my congressperson, Lauren Underwood, 33 years old. I'll guarantee goddamn to you, that woman was on her parents' insurance until she won Congress. She has the standard apartment in D.C. that we pay for as taxpayers because they get their salary on that. But her legal address is her parents' house. Still, why is she making any decisions on my motherfucking behalf? You understand?
Why are any of them?
Yeah, so I'm not being a prick about it. I'm just saying, I'm being commonsensical. When you've had experience, weigh on things that you've had experience on, and that's what I'm doing. I left home at 15 years old. I expect them to have more common sense than I expect them to have more integrity than I. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, back to what I was saying, tell the fucking truth. Tell the truth. Tell all sides of the truth. Remember the fucking shit. There's your side, there's my side, there's the truth. You're in therapy now. You get it, I get it, and you see me implement it now that I'm going to say it. What happened, what actually happened, and what do I think happened? Mm-hmm. Take my spin, my issues, my emotions out of the situation. I.e., go ahead and post this picture again on it because it got a lot of fucking views, by the way. Milad Akbar. I have to take my shit out of that. Should I be frustrated that he isn't currently working on our shows? Sure, it's frustrating to me. Let's look at the facts. The facts are that motherfucker equated always into social media numbers and YouTube and views, subscribers, let's see. Now this is like going to the facts, no feeling emotion, okay? The guy like that, he boosts business, Now, when he was doing all that, imagine if we were to get his shirt on pro wrestling tees, which I would like to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's more income for us. You know what I mean? Pivot share Patreon. You know what I mean? Those are like on a business front what would bother me. What should bother me. What I might be or people might consider having a right to. And let's face it, knock on wood, this is an industry, my pearls of wisdom, if people like it or not, are worth quite a bit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I never charged that guy a fucking dime for anything. Retraining, hookups, any of that shit. You know what I mean? So that would be on the business front, pro versus con. If you were doing a spreadsheet on Milad Akbar as a company or corporation. So, company or corporation would say to an agent, let's say an agent or a lawyer, your job is to fucking get that guy. Hammer him. Get him back here. He's a valuable commodity. He's a fucking all-star, Now here's Rand's thing. Why am I frustrated? Talent. That kid has so much fucking talent. I hate to see it, in my opinion, and this is my bullshit again, Justin, my emotions again, go to waste. You know what I mean? The bitchy part. After all I've done for you. You know what I mean? That's like
the offended mother, and this is the thanks I get?
Or the fucking entitled ex-wife. After all I've done for you, you owe me. I don't like that shit. Yeah. And you know what? That shit's no good for him.
No.
So take my shit out of it, okay? Take my shit out of it. What actually happened? What actually happened was he was 19 years old when I got him a World Wrestling Entertainment tryout. And we talked today a lot about, everybody talks about fucking racism, and all that shit. I don't see racism, The more I know about Milad Akbar's fucking culture, the more I want to know. I'm stimulated, always have been. I'm even fucking jacked about the food. We were talking, me and him, about certain things in the food, and it started with things like carp. The United States of America is the only country in the world that has that stigmata about carp being a garbage fish. Well, carp was introduced to the States as a means of, it's a hardy motherfucking fish that can live through anything, and it's supposed to help feed the masses because they're so readily available in the way they breed and grow. You know what I mean? Well, I see when I'm perusing cooking shows, that kind of shit, etc., other countries that eat carp. And when I stumbled upon it on Eastern European countries, because that's where the motherfucker comes from. The carp, you know. And then I started talking to them a lot about the way those fuckers prepare carp. Then I happened upon, I was in this miserable situation where I had to give somebody a ride 5 days a week from Wakanda to Roselle. Oh my God, 40 plus miles, you know. But I turned it into a positive because I found a fucking little Arab restaurant. And I says, fuck, okay. So me and Milad started talking about carp, the cooking, and then I'm trying to figure out the difference between, there's a lot of fucking vegan shit. Most of their shit is vegan based. They just add meat to certain meals.
Look at where they are in the world. I mean, they're out in the desert. I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, there's not gonna be a lot of plant growth out there, but you do have those areas that are real fertile because they're right out there by the Fertile Crescent.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have a booming plant agriculture, but at the same time, you still have to rely on some animal agriculture to get you by.
Well, they do a lot of shit, like creative shit with vegetables that I like, you know. Baba fucking ganoush. What's that shit called with the garbanzo? It's a garbanzo based.
Hummus?
Mash it. Hummus, yeah. Those motherfuckers, man. They wrote the Arabs wrote the book on fucking hummus uses, man.
Oh God, yeah.
Go get you some fucking Arab hummus, and the way they use it in a meal, you'll flip out. Then they just add chicken, lamb, or fucking whatever meat was available, goat even, you know. Mm-hmm. But anyway, bottom line is their fucking food. Oh my God, you know what I mean? So, I find this fucking Arab restaurant, and I say, well, fuck it, you know. It's cheap, it's fucking great, so I'll just make it better. If I stop there or even go through the drive-thru, it makes this miserable fucking drive palatable. You know? So I am fascinated with other cultures, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't like cultures that harm, but thank the Lord, I don't know any Arab radical Muslims or radical anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Radical Christian or Muslim. Thank God. You know, I don't want to deal with that shit. Because, yeah, you're going to see somebody be real uncomfortable and angry. I don't want to deal with that. But this motherfucker, so Milad Akbar had all the tools, you know? He looks great. He's a good-looking kid. You know, I'm watching this show. I might have told you, I might not have told you, but it's a Netflix original called Messiah. Mm-hmm. Fucking great show. Well, the star of the show, this Arab kid who's from Iran, looks just like Milad's fucking brother. You know what I mean? They're the same face, man, you know? Good-looking motherfucker is the point I'm trying to make, you know? I'm going to say this, and whatever, I don't care how anybody takes it because it's not meant in a bad way. That motherfucker always smells good, you know? And back in the day, that's what it was in wrestling, man. If you were a fucking slob, and if you didn't shower after you wrestled, I've seen them throw a guy in the shower and his gear into the water. You know what I mean? As a motherfucker, bathe. Have some respect for yourself. Have some respect for us. So, you know, you didn't have to tell, and today you got to tell all these guys that, these fucking clowns, and especially, I swear to God, you have, maybe you have, now that you're going to think about it, if you've ever walked into an indie fucking locker room,
and I have,
it is the fucking most stank shit you've ever been in. It smells like ass, balls, and the worst smell is dirty fucking pads and gear. These assholes wear their shit, put it in their trunk, and never take it out until they go to their next monthly or at best bi-monthly fucking indie shot, okay? Once they put that shit on before they're going out and they start sweating in it, oh my God, it's the worst stench. It's worse than the basement where fucking Freddy Krueger was fucking conceived, where 100 serial killers raped a woman. It smells so bad. You know what I mean? It is the worst. And that shit just wouldn't fly in my day. And it shouldn't fly because it goes back to, again, common sense, you know? So, Milad, that's a part of the culture, man. That's a meticulous motherfucker. And I appreciate that because when Milad was breaking in it, well, you know, when I started working with him, 18, 19 years old, showing him things, honing him, retraining him, I would get in there with him, you know? I'm already got 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot in a fucking banana peel. Last thing I need is to smell a stank bitch. Well, man, that motherfucker was fresh. I appreciate that. That's part of the culture. That's how they roll. You know what I mean? And then the lack of talent and the cultural difference, you know? Milad Akbar lost his father at a very young age and became the man of the house at a very young age. That's the culture. That's not a Muslim thing, which a lot of people would think. That is a cultural thing. That's the difference over there between like Arabian culture and Muslim culture. So his ass at 19 years old put it in his mind. He put it in his mind. There's nothing I could do different. He had spent 19 years of his life with that grilled in his head. I have to get hired now. It's got to happen now. You know what I mean? I have to take care of my mother and my little brother now. You know what I mean? And that's not how it operates.
No.
You know? Now, the feedback from him from our Wrestling Entertainment was phenomenal. The second day, the decision makers came up to him and said, come here, we want to talk to you, love your look. Can you really speak proper Arabic? Yes, I speak Arabic and Farsi. Holy shit. Now remember, at the time, Vince was going through his phase where he would hire somebody, and still is, but there was more of a focus on hiring people from other countries that could help.
Yeah.
I.e. that kid that was, that they use on the, he's in the developmental system, but they use him once or twice a year in that big Saudi show.
Oh, Mansoor?
Yeah.
Who looks a lot like the Arabian Jose Acosta?
Yeah, I mean, and God bless Mansoor, but he's green.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get the opportunity to work much in between that shit, so how's he going to develop? But he's there, foot in the door. He's got the right, and he's going to have to step up and handle his own business to work outside of that show or be showcased. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you know, that demographic was what Vince or WWE was hiring. Milad was perfect for it, you know? But the difference between Mansoor and him is Milad can work, and he can work with anybody. Go back into our annals on fucking Pivot Share and YouTube, and you look up and you see for yourself how that guy can work with anybody. You see for yourself how quickly Milad can put on 30 pounds with diet and work ethic. Now, it's work ethic, but it's also knowledge. Dude, he knows how to eat to cut. He knows how to eat to gain. You know what I mean? I've seen him start doing it at 17. That man isn't even, when he turns 30, it's going to be a whole new ball game for him with fitness. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But watch him work with different people, and you tell me who the fuck in the history of pro wrestling has a better headbutt off the top than Milad Akbar?
Oh, it's a thing of beauty.
Fucking nobody. You know what I mean?
It's a thing of beauty.
So, now I'm going back to, I talked about what happened, what I think happened. You know, the frustration. You want to yell. I want to yell at a young person. I want to say, you fucking idiot, I told you. You know, I can't do that because I told him doesn't change what he was raised with, what his beliefs are. And the more I bitch, the more those beliefs will never change. He will guard them. He will not want to be told what the fuck to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Conditioning is a really hard thing to break, especially when it's put in you at such an early age.
It's branded. It's like a tattoo.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, I say how I feel because I can't live without telling you how I feel if I have to deal with you. But at the end of the day, I love Milad Akbar as a human fucking being. I love him as one of my surrogate sons. He was one of my first surrogate sons, and I know you know what I mean by that shit.
Oh, I know.
So I say, let that motherfucker figure it out for himself. I said what I need to say. At the end of the day, he knows he has the talent, and he got those accolades from World Wrestling Entertainment. But the facts were the facts. They would not hire him at that age. They would not hire him at 19 because he couldn't check into a hotel and reserve a room in his name. Once he shows ID, you're only 19. You can't go into an adult comes, and you can't rent a car. But they know who that guy is. And he left such an impression on him that when he's ready, if he's ever, when he's ready, he's in the Rolodex. He stood out. He was a standout, you know? And maybe he'll never be ready. Maybe he finds something else that he wants to do. I don't think so, though, because why does he keep showing up? Right. But I will not push that because that's going to drive somebody like that with pride and self-esteem away. So I will sit back and I'll lay back and I will continue to be unconditional toward that guy. And if he makes a decision, we're all better off. But if he doesn't make the decision, I'm a better man for knowing him anyway. You know what I mean? And as are you guys. You see him when he's around here. He has something about him that is attractive to these guys. Be it weight training or his shit in the ring.
Yeah, and he treats everyone equally.
That's nice.
He doesn't. I've never seen Milad in a clique. Obviously,
No.
you're going to have guys you're closer to than other guys.
Yeah.
But I've never seen Milad just strictly stick with one group of guys and then just with everybody else. Yeah, hey, how are you? Whatever.
Yeah. No, that's his thing, man. He's not a part of pack mentality. He won't feed into that shit, and he wouldn't as a young man. You know what I mean? And he's very fair and very loyal and faithful, but you got to gain that. And that's what I like about him, too, because that's a commonsensical trait,
And you said it yourself. I mean, if you're kind of new with us and you haven't seen the stuff that we were doing back in like 2014, 2015, when Milad was at his peak in this company, his 2-year reign as champion.
Oh, man.
I mean, he's the total package. He really is. I mean, one look at him, you can tell the kid is as strong as an ox.
Well, have you seen him or no? You haven't been here when he's come to camp.
I haven't seen him since he was last in the ring 3 odd years ago,
Okay.
I want to say.
He is down 20 pounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it fucking looks good on him. That's the problem. He's still got the motherfucking birth defect thighs and the shoulders, arms, and chest. You know what I mean? So when he loses weight, he only looks bigger. You know what I mean? But he's been doing this crazy shit still, come hell or high water, 1,000 reps per body part.
God damn.
I know. Well, I'm done in an hour. I think in my head, how in the fuck do you do that?
How the fuck do you keep count? That's what I want to know.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. No, this guy, he's got a very good gift of focus. Came here at 12 years old, not knowing English. He's got 2 languages bounced around his head, proper Arabic and Farsi. And by 17 years old, he mastered our language and graduated a year early.
And English is a difficult language. People who speak English natively do not understand how difficult of a language it is to learn.
Yeah, you're right, especially coming from that,
Yeah.
But, go ahead and put him back up there, and there's some background on him, and we'll see what happens. If nothing does happen, I mean, at least you guys will be treated to some really good fucking wrestling. You know?
Yeah, so get on YouTube and get on Pivot Share and watch Milad. I mean, strong as an ox, but also the shorter frame. I mean, he could fly around the ring. You said the headbutt. One thing I remember that I always loved when he did was that single leg drop kick off the ropes.
Yeah, man, that motherfucker just good.
He was like a bullet.
Yeah, and the other thing about him, I've never seen a guy be able to maintain his timing. Honest to Christ, he could go in there this Saturday night if he chose to. Again, I'm not fucking swerving or pushing, and have a fucking match. You wouldn't know by looking at him. He lost. There's no ring rust on the motherfucker. That's a gift too.
That is a gift.
A
lot of guys lose their timing and whatnot after about 6 months.
That's how.
Maybe probably not that long.
Yeah, not even, dude. I mean, when you work every night, and let's go back and talk about Casey James, another surrogate son, and probably one of the best to come along in the industry over the last 20 years. You don't have to ask me that. You can ask The Undertaker that direct, who's the WWE locker room general as far as work goes. That motherfucker was great, too. What the fuck was I getting to with him? So Casey's an asshole like me. We both smoke, and I smoked the whole time I've been in the industry. Sad part is when I was driving 3,000 miles a week, man, put me behind the wheel or give me a fucking phone, and I chain smoke. I smoke 2.5 packs a day of Marlboro Reds. But I could go out there and work 40 fucking minutes. I would go out there and work 40 minutes a night up to, 10, up to 12 times a week. You know what I mean? Something happens out there. It's a certain timing. It's a gear that you find and Vince's guys don't have it right now because of COVID, for example. When you work every night, there's a timing and a gear you find. And Al Snow, when he was, swinging dick for the real OVW for World Wrestling Entertainment, would fucking cite, he's like, I can't believe it. I'm citing him as an example. The guy that fucking sneaks out of drills, smokes a cigarette, and then comes back and gets in line to finish drills. You know what I mean? It's a timing that you get, and then in your brain, you feel it, and it's again back to the whole lining up your brain with your body. You know what I mean? It's a timing, and also it doesn't hurt. When you're in that gear and you have that timing, it took me 3 weeks to really master it the first time I was working every night of the week. Once that happened, there's so much you can do in the ring and not get hurt. You just don't get hurt, And that's why we try to do what we do at least once a week for these guys,
Yeah, well, look at the timing our green guys have compared to people who only work about once a month.
Yeah, or look at let's take the guys you just put over. Ventura and Charlie Hustle. And let's compare them to some of these guys that call themselves 10-year indie vets. Look at their timing and compare. You know what I mean?
Look at Hustle's timing in that match he had with Vine.
So
Just 15 minutes. You and I on commentary were both saying, I can't believe it's only been 5 minutes.
Oh, dude, that was so compelling. You know what I mean? That point system shit too is so compelling. It's
a pain in the ass to try and keep up with, but damn it, you cannot argue with the end result.
Well, let me ask you something though. Once you get started, like I feel that too, but I almost am motivated by the part that I missed. That pain in the ass is part of the fucking, to me, the hook, the entertainment value, no?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, that's right. Come on. You know what I mean?
And anybody out there who's hearing this who says, oh, it's all scripted, we don't know when the points are going to happen. So that's why you hear me, you hear Rand, you hear all three of us at times. We have had a different score, and finally we have to be, oh, yeah, right, okay, we got to get back on the same page.
And we remember,
but that's part of the fun.
At the end of the day, it's the referee's decision. He's officiating,
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But, I think it must be going pretty good because no one's bitching about it that's participating. Oh, man, I should have got a point. You know what I mean?
No, we got guys who were excited. They're nervous when they get into it, but they're excited to try it out.
Cooking, I just
try
love
it.
And I love how when they get cooking and they find that, and it translates into us watching it,
And it challenges them to be creative because they have that small window of time to use.
Fuck yeah. It really challenges them, So, we're going to be doing more of that. So now, what do you got to go soon?
It's 5:10, so
Oh,
we got like 20 minutes.
We got to dick around and get to this fucking live stream shit, and I said it to you last week, and I said exactly perfectly, and I even forgot I said it Saturday. If we don't go live, if we don't live stream, we may as well not be doing this at this point.
Yeah.
Everybody's afraid of COVID.
Again.
But that's not what we did this for in the first place. I wanted to build up our YouTube traffic. Now, are we a fucking contender? No. But the YouTube traffic's respectable. That shows me there's enough interest to keep fucking with our business, to keep growing this company,
Yep.
So I knew, and I'll say it again, you can ask guys like Jimmy Kennedy and that, I said to them 25 years ago, Justin, I really think the internet is where everybody's going to be watching wrestling. This is before Vince even thought of doing a network. I bought the domain name ProWrestlingOnDemand.com 25 years ago. I let the fucking thing lapse because I quit the business once, But goddamn, what a soothsayer if I would have been doing it back then when I first thought of it, you know what I mean? But anyway, it don't matter because today's today and the way we're going to do it. That's what we have to do. And that way people can get it live or post. But I love the idea that you can watch it from your house without having to take any fucking unnecessary risks that you don't feel comfortable taking. I love the fact that it's the way we're going to do it is a lot different. We aren't going to depend on the Fight app or the Fight app.
Fight, yeah.
And High Spots. God bless them, man. They've cornered the market, but I just don't like it. I don't like the way that they treat their content providers. You know what I mean? There's just not enough money at the end of the day. I think by the end of the day, the percentages that I know, it's a fucking break even. And if something's broke even, it's not going to last.
No.
You know? So, the way we're going to do it, I love too, because it's innovative. And we'll be able to charge you guys less than they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it's going to provide some opportunity for our talent roster to make some more money. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
So we just got to roll. I got to just shut the fuck up, buy the fucking cable. My thought is then what we do is right now we videotape and then Justin does the commentary in a separate file. Is it a huge pain in the ass? No, you've said, but it's a pain in the ass. So I say we get the fucking cable first, and then we commentate, and it's all in one file. After we do that, a week or two, boom, we make the announcement, we're going live. This is what we'll charge. And then do it. Do it every fucking week.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a matter of figuring out the software at this point. We know what we need, now we just got to figure out how to use it.
Software? What do you mean? Oh, yeah, doing it with...
Doing the combination video and audio. Because the video goes into... The way we do it now, we take the SD card, plug it into the system. When I do it, I use iMovie for the video, and then the audio software is through Audacity. I use that to convert the audio files to MP3, load the MP3 into iMovie.
Yeah, but
and
will there be converting? It's all coming in the same place via iMovie.
I don't think there will.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just a matter of training ourselves to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Getting comfortable with it. You know, because I even hit up Crowdcast about it, and I sent it to you, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I think that's all we got to do. You don't have to dick with a conversion because it's all on one layer. And all we need is the fucking cable. Do that 2 weeks in a row. Well, that's simpler than I thought it was. And then fucking all we got to do then is hook up the internet and go live with it, you know?
Whatever nerves there are, they just come from not having done it yet.
Well, I've been having, I'm a kid. I told you guys some of my history with prior to wrestling. Kicked out of the house 14, I think 15. I don't remember. I was a fucking kid. Anyway, age of 18, I happened upon telemarketing fundraising, which sucked. But the upside is that you got paid on a commission, and somebody who doesn't have any skill or education, you can make a lot of money, you know. So first I taught myself to be a salesman, and then I looked around and saw how my industry was going and how they were doing things. I thought, what a fucking cunt. This guy, the owner's a cunt. You know, addicts, alcoholics, unfair. Then I started realizing other things and going, this should be turned into a business, and no bullshit, no lies, no dirt, operate like a business. And, the things that I did just blew up the industry. I mean, for 8 years, I was the king of the industry. I was the largest business-to-business telemarketing fundraising firm in the country, And I've been having dreams lately, man, really bad dreams where I'm in these situations where I'm stuck working for these assholes again, trying to sell them on my ideas and what I did. But for whatever reason, I'm not running it. I'm not running the company. I'm getting horribly mistreated like when I was a kid again. So I figured that the reason I'm doing that is because I am that way in life right now by trying to depend on my quote-unquote partner in the way we want to do this live stream stuff. He had a choice to help with it and get on board or don't help with it. But if you're not going to help with it, that's cool. Don't try to talk me out of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I know that my conscience is fucked up about not doing it yet. Because it's been, 2 years at least since I brought this up and been fast and furious about it in my brain and vocally, right?
Yeah.
Maybe more. So, I mean, we got to do something, dude, so I can get a decent night's sleep. I really think that it's time, and that's God's way of telling me, get moving, motherfucker. Don't be intimidated. You can handle this. Don't be silly,
I think what you and I need to do is accept the fact that it's not going to go perfect the first couple of times.
Well, no, I think it will, dude, if we fucking are doing it live, okay? So we're doing it, the commentary and the video live, taking out that conversion, taking out the 2 layers, all right? And then loading it directly from here to YouTube, loading it directly from here to Patreon, loading it directly from here to Pivot Share, and then we go live because they say, hey, we already done it 10 times. Think about it. You know what I mean? One night, let's say we tape a match for YouTube or 2, a match or 2 for Pivot Share, a match or 2 for Patreon. You know, here's the files. You could be uploading matches for the YouTube while we're commentating for Patreon Pivot Share. You know what I mean? That by the end of the night, that's worth 3 times. Another week, that's 6 times. Fuck, all you got to do now is fucking connect to the internet. We're good. You know what I mean? See what I'm saying? Or no? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. You know, and it'll get the content quicker to our patrons and to our Pivot Share subscribers. You know.
Yeah, there won't be a waiting period. Right now, there's a waiting period because of that conversion time.
Yeah, of only a few days. And again, I think I'm pretty sure we are we provide the most, or one of the most, biggest amounts of content, of fresh content on at all our platforms. You know, there's a lot of sneak going on around out there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what they're doing. Something's happening outside the studio. We see ladders. We see.
Maybe it's an
indie show. Who knows?
Maybe Antifa's coming for me.
Hey, I told you earlier they were going to be up your ass about that shit.
Fuck them. I could still fight. It's funny. Yeah, man. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's some bright shit, and it's going to pump the guys up. I can't wait to see how much it pumps them up to work, and work harder,
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I mean, knowing that, there's not going to be any edits, there's not going to be any cuts. I mean, it's going to make them step up their game like crazy. And on the one hand, I think they're maybe a little nervous about it, but on the other hand, I feel like there's a lot of enthusiasm because it's going to be a new challenge.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There's only one person with the doubt, and I don't understand the fucking doubt. It doesn't make any sense to me,
Yeah.
Doubt does not make any sense to me in this scenario. But again, I want to rise above all the crap, and anybody that's spending their money on us can see the difference.
Yeah.
And
if you want to move forward, you can't stay in your comfort zone. And that's what it's about.
It's misery.
It's about not wanting to take those risks and stay put where you are because you're in this little bubble.
My comfort zone has become so uncomfortable.
Oh, I know.
At the end of the day, it's just, like I says, it's coming out of my subconscious and my fucking dreams,
Well, I mean, with all the shit I've gone through in the last year and a half, I've been forced out of my comfort zone. But you know what? It's been the best damn thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah. No, me too. I love having the stuff to look forward to. And the other thing I love is my creativity, I suppose if we were doing 5 nights a week, I would probably get burned out because booking and writing, you burn out.
Sometimes I look at you on Saturday and feel like you're going to get burned out from one day.
Yeah, Saturdays, man, but it's okay. For some reason, Saturday, I can cram 3 days into one Saturday. I crash hard Sunday and Monday. Mm-hmm. I'm in a fog. But, I can put so much into that and so much into the little things, and I just thank God I'm still able to do that at my age,
Yeah. Well, I think once you get on an idea, it's hard to let go of it, and you think of every avenue you can to make it happen.
Yeah. Without overthinking and drive me into depression.
Yeah.
Or feed my depression.
And that's what'll do it.
Yeah. I just hate when I fucking say, hey, what about this again? Well, that's a terrible idea. I can remember being literally laughed at, made fun of when I said I wanted to get 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. And you will remember yourself personally all the fucking jabs in regards to using Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
But remember that shit because that keeps you going as opposed to a fuck you. They do say the best revenge is doing well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I remember when we launched Patreon, there was about a 2-month gap where we had no traffic, and those naysayers were going, hey, see, we told you so, Smithers.
Yeah.
And then what happened? We started to grow small amounts.
Yeah.
But the traffic started to finally pick up, and that's the point.
Yeah.
I know you and I, almost a year ago, we were going back and forth where you were asked, where I was, and it was because of the other shit I had going on in my life that was fucking with my head too, but I was really down and out about how we didn't have the traffic for Patreon that I thought we were going to have.
Yeah.
But then it started to grow.
Yeah.
It's all about patience.
Well, yeah, and what did I say then,
Uh-huh.
What did I say then?
It was almost a year ago. I can't remember exactly what you said. You kidding me? Can barely remember what I did 5 minutes ago at this point.
At the end of the day, and we are by no means, we have to grow our Patreon, so if you guys could please share, let the public know the comments that you tell us, i.e., I've been told by more than one person that the podcast alone, we're not charging enough for everything we offer. The podcast alone is worth the $5,
And it probably is, but
yeah. But let people know, share it.
Yeah.
Share it and be honest about it. You know what I mean? That's all I ask, because, it's a good thing. There's a lot of stuff and experience I've had of being in the right places at the right time, and being sober at the time so I could fucking retain everything that was going on around me.
And let's be honest, this guy's the Howard Stern of pro wrestling podcasts. The people who love him want to hear what he has to say next, and the people who hate him want to hear what he has to say next.
Right? So we're still growing Patreon, but I think that the big growth boost is going to be going live.
Definitely. Definitely.
And us, by watching us stuff collectively, Justin, myself, the talent roster, we're only going to work motherfucking harder.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, come Sunday, there's going to be that burnout, but the hard work is going to pay off.
Yep. Last Sunday, man, this is fucking great. During my burnout, I was like, fuck me, man. Days are getting so short. It's 45 fucking degrees out. But gotta get some peace. Get away from everything. The fucking TV, the phone, every fucking thing. I'm going to go try to fish in one of my spots, And just being outside and the decompression is great for me, even though my fucking toes and my fingers are getting cold. Well, I'm fucking catching bass. I found a way to initiate bites, Fifth, sixth bass. That motherfucker is the biggest bass I caught in my life. 23-inch largemouth.
God damn.
Yeah. Had to be 7 pounds.
23 inches, bass. Yeah. Would
That's
be right
big
about
fish.
that.
That's
That'd be
a
right
big
about
fucking
that.
fish
Yeah.
for Illinois. You know what I mean? So I was like, right on. I'm a care. So that motherfucking bass got me through, since till today. You know what I mean? 4 days, and I'm gonna keep riding that out because that bass is great.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, go ahead and put Milad's pick up because people will click on it. I mean, pardon me. Look at our excerpts on YouTube. The traction with Milad's pick on there. I mean, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You people respond to them,
Yeah. Well, we get comments on YouTube all the time on, Milad's old videos, like, when is Milad coming back? We miss Milad.
Yeah.
Milad was excellent.
No, here's the funny thing, and we should probably close now because your window's closing quick. But I want to say this, and this was for a doubter, that has an investment in the company. Why do you keep the belt on Milad? He doesn't draw. I'm like, because I don't want to play to just the fucking area. I want to play to the world. I want to play globally like Vince does. And again, we don't have the media outlets, but that's how you fucking plant the seeds. Well, fucking look at our membership in Hindi countries and things of that nature. If I would have had another year and if Milad came back, I mean, you'd see. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that's why I made Milad my top guy for so long. And it's about meeting him halfway with his work ethic.
Mm-hmm. I think I even once asked you, and I wasn't doing it to be critical, but I was curious.
Yeah.
I even asked you why you kept the belt on Milad for so long, and all you told me was, look at him.
Right? I guess that's the.
And that's all you had to say, and I was just like, oh, motherfucker.
Yeah. When we have no resources, we had no resources then. But the other thing is, on social media, I found out when you don't have resources to start to advertise in the media money, I guess, or the media outlets that Vince does, it takes a long fucking time to get them to notice you and catch on, you know? So, I mean, you can see, like you said right now, look at the when they said we miss Milad overseas versus the date of the match and the date that the match went up. It took a long time for them to find him, you know? And that's how it goes. And I'll take that growth, because that kind of growth is something to build on, because it's real, organic, not your regular indie promoter that forces these guys, if you don't sell tickets, you're not booked. Okay, it's Thursday, I only got 80 or 12 tickets in. Come on, or you're going to have to pay for them or you're not booked, you know. I don't charge $75 to book them. You know what I mean? Build the organic, real fucking fan. You know, nickel and dime and the carny shit. You know what I mean?
Well, what did we talk about a few podcasts ago? We talked about playing the long game.
Yeah. Yeah. Somewhere in business, when I built my business, and I'm telling you, dude, the way I built it in record time, and I set numbers, you know, I was only planning on, I thought I would have been a great goal to do $2 million a year. Well, fuck, I was busting out over $3 million for a long time, you know, in business. $3 million a year in revenue before 2000. That's a lot of money, you know?
Yeah.
But I always thought 10 years ahead. And I don't think I can think any differently now, you know? Some of these guys might get scooped by Vince, but between the live stream, and this is a good time for me to pimp it, pro wrestling tees, because their shirts are moving, and pivot share, and this goddamn history of the ring concept, these guys might not need Vince. You know what I mean?
You know, I was just about to say that. It's like the goal isn't to compete with Vince.
No.
But
Can't.
if
can't.
if our platform can either get guys signed with Vince or get enough traction where they can make a living off of working here,
A good living.
that's the goal.
Yeah, if they could, so let's say, and I really believe that fucking history of the ring is a great idea.
Oh, it definitely
You
is.
know,
If you don't take me on the road with you for at least a couple episodes, I'm going to be pissed.
but I think that you can, I can create fucking real spots, mid-card money for probably 8 of them to start, you know, and patronizing them on pro wrestling tees, their portion of the pivot share and the portion that they're going to get from live stream, they can look at that money and say, I'm better off here and I don't have to suck anybody off. You know what I mean? I mean, seriously, dude, it can happen, you know. Mike and Frank, their personal income per year from American Pickers is $500,000 apiece.
And that's not fucking bad.
No, how many people on the Vince's roster are making $500,000 now?
I don't think many at this point.
You know, it's going to take time. First, you get it up. Then, if it gets over, then that's where that big money comes. You know what I mean? Contract through Discovery Networks or through us, but either way, we're going to be strategic partners like Vince's model, and the more successful it is, the more everybody makes money. And again, you know, just the fact that, you know, we're on a network with that kind of show showcasing our guys, fuck, I can't imagine what it's going to do for our other revenue streams, you know?
Yeah.
And when that happens, we're not selling out. We're going to do things the way we fucking do things, the way we always have.
No.
Because that's, the end of the day, in my opinion, a viable alternative. And you're talking to a guy that went down with the ship with TNA, went down with the ship with XWF, who are supposed to be viable alternatives. You know, you can't compete with Vince, so don't try to do it. Don't try to be Vince. Don't try to compete with him, because you can't. What you can do is hit them where they ain't and give people a viable alternative. Alternative means not WWE.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or trying too hard to not be WWE.
No, man, I ain't gonna mention that shit. You know what I mean when we do. But I'm not disrespecting World Wrestling Entertainment, because I want our guys to have that option. It's not going to hurt them. It's not going to hurt me. But my thing is once they're done there, they're not done, period.
Right.
You know? And the ones that do go there, you know, and come back, it's just an enhancement thing. you know, and maybe one way, shape, or form, you know, doing this will make us more valuable to WWE. You know, WWE did deal with a couple of companies or a company. Well, fuck. Now that shit's all coming back on them with the Me Too or whatever the fuck they call it in wrestling. And there's some sick shit that's real.
Oh, the Speak Out movement?
Yeah, speak out. We don't have any of that. You know what I mean? And if they've gone to court or not, they've had to spend money on legal already, thousands of dollars to address those things, you know? We don't have that baggage.
No.
Because I don't allow it. You know I don't allow it, you know?
Yeah. No. So the whole point of us telling you guys this is two simple words. Stay tuned.
Yeah, you're going to want to be part of this, trust me, as a fan. You
Yeah.
know? Continue to pray for Tom Michaels, a longtime fan. I haven't talked to his daughter for a few days, 5 days, but things were looking up for him. He got COVID and pneumonia at the same time a year after he had a kidney transplant.
Yeah.
But the kidney's strong. He was just struggling with that fucking COVID and pneumonia at the same time. But as of Thursday or Friday, he remembered that he was a Republican. So to me, that means things are looking up, and I'm going to hit her up this week to, you know, check his progress. But pray for him. Pray for Tom Michaels, you know.
The way I see it at this point, no news is good news.
No, I think it's going to be good news with him, brother.
Well, I think it will be. Tom's a fighter.
Okay. That's not what you were saying.
The guy worked for the CTA for what, 40 years?
Yeah, this should
you,
be
You
nothing.
can't work for the CTA for 40 years and not be made of iron.
Sure, and to be retirement age and have a fucking kidney transplant, you know.
Yeah.
So
It's a risky procedure.
So yeah, this should be nothing. Well, not nothing for him. Obviously, he's fucking with it. But yeah, that's good. You know, to me, that's a positive. And she was laughing, so that's a positive.
Yeah.
And you know, what do we got this week?
This week, so far announced, we've got the rematch for the tag titles. Chase and Sem are going to face Charlie and Ventura, who are now the champs. But Chase and Sem have that obligated rematch that they get. And then we're going to have Jose's out this week. He's got another commitment. But we're going to crown a new number one contender between Inestra, Vine, and D.
That'll be a good triple threat.
That will be good. And that came about, if you guys were here on Saturday and you remember, because Inestra and Vine interfered in the title match between D and Jose.
But their entitlement, yeah.
Yeah. And you know, they both have their case. Inestra won the Armageddon Gauntlet, and usually that comes with a title shot.
Yeah, because it's the caliber.
But when he won it, D was already in place to get the title shot.
Because he beat him non-title.
Yeah. And then Vine, well, Vine is Vine.
Well, you know, not even just that, but he figures he's frustrated because he put 9 or 10 weeks into fucking with D on that best of 7, so he thinks he's entitled because D wouldn't be as good and be there if it wasn't for his matches with him.
That's true.
So it's fucking insane.
And he did win that best of 7 over D. So
Did he?
Well,
you know?
win. Yeah.
But anyway, then aside from that, though, fuck, you know, let him fight, but let him fight organized chaos. Let's make a match out of it.
Yep.
You know, and then the one standing will be the one that will face Jose for the title. Will earn that motherfucking spot.
Mm-hmm. That'll happen probably the next week then.
Yes, it will.
Excellent.
Now, stay tuned too, because we should do some more stuff for Patreon this week. I really want to do something with it. I think we're going to make it separate. King of the Iron Man tag match. Kings of the Iron Man? I don't know. What would we call it? But I want to do something with that. I want to do something with that aside from the tag titles, because then you could put those two against each other for all or nothing type shit, which would be cool too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it would.
So,
I'm already gay for that.
Yeah, another original concept match, you know, that I think the people will go for, you know?
And another something for the guys to chase.
Exactly. More opportunity, you know? More opportunity, higher caliber match, you know?
More opportunity to shine.
Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you guys again for listening. Again, got the triple threat for the number one contendership this Saturday and the tag title rematch. Live streaming is coming up, so keep your eye out for that. And tell everybody about Patreon. Let them listen to these podcasts. You
Yes.
know, guide them to YouTube where they can listen to the free clips.
Yes.
See our past catalog. You know, you can go to Pivot Share 2, watch
Yes.
our past tapings. Pro Wrestling Tees help support our guys by buying their merch. We've always got new merch coming out. I think Poncho's got a new shirt where he's surfing on a shark.
You know what I saw live? Ian was wearing it 2 Saturdays ago. I hadn't seen it live. I only seen the picture. Premier Pro Wrestling, we kick ass till we smell shit. That was a good shirt.
Yeah.
I forgot that we had that fucking shirt till I saw the kid wearing it. Probably.
Yeah.
You know?
Ian wears that to the shows, and he wears it with pride. So thank you, Ian.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next week.